Hey guys, Steven here with Millennial Music Money. Today we're going to be learning how to create a ukulele tab in Guitar Pro 7.5. So first we got to open the program, and then we got to go to New File. Now we have our instruments over here. We're going to be under Stringed Instruments. So we're going to go to Other. We're going to click on Ukulele and Create. So now that we have our track set up, we've got the tab on the bottom, and we've got the music notation on the top. So I only use the music notation on the top for the rhythm. On the bottom, I just hit the number of the fret we want. So if you're not familiar with tab, we've got the G string here, the C string here, the E string here, and the A string there. So let's say we wanted to make a C chord as the first note. Well, we'd have the 3rd fret, and then the other strings would be open. So you've got all of that. So all I did there was I clicked on the string until that box was visible, and then I just literally hit the number of the fret that I wanted on the keyboard. Let's say this is a chord melody, so we're just going to make up a little song here. So all I did there was I hit over with the arrow, and then I clicked the number that I wanted for that fret, and then I click the number for the other fret. Now it defaults to quarter notes. You notice that it made all of these quarter notes. If we wanted to change that, while we have it highlighted, we can go over to here and click on the other note. So let's say we wanted both of those to be 8th notes. Click 8th note there. You can see it changed to an 8th note. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Click 8th note. And then let's say we wanted to strum another chord here, and it's going to be another C chord. So all I'm doing is changing strings by going vertically down with the arrow key and then hitting the number that I want. But I don't want this to be an 8th note. I want this one to be a half note. Okay? So now we've got our first measure of our little ukulele song. If we want to, we can click on the first chord and then go up here and click the play button. Hear what it sounds like. Very cool. So we'll add another measure, and we'll do a different chord this time. Why don't we do a G chord? And then why don't we just end it up with a C chord, and we'll pretend this is the whole song. Very short little song, but let's hear it. So nice and classical sounding. Okay. So as we notice, we've just got these two measures and it's taking up this whole entire line, but it's just on the first half of the line. What I like to do is to make it take up the whole line. I right click on the measure that I'm on. It doesn't matter which chord you're on as long as you're clicked into that measure. And then I like to go down to bar, force break line, and boom, it spreads it out to where it takes up the entire line. So to me, that just looks more aesthetically pleasing. So just remember you can do that. If you want to have more measures on a certain line, you can do prevent break line. Okay, so now that we've got that, we want to add a title to our page because that's our whole song. And so we go to File, Style Sheet, and then we go to Header and Footer, and it gives us all these options. So let's call this Short Song, and then you've got your subtitle. You could say something like Ukulele Song Number 2, if you had a subtitle. And then the artist, you can put Steven. You can put your full name, though, if you want to. And then if you want to do the words or the music was written by, if you had words, you could do that. For music, I'm just going to write my name again. And then that's it. So if you want to, you can go down here. There's copyright. There's all sorts of stuff you can do here, but we won't do that today. We'll just click OK. Boom, now we've got our title, our subtitle, the artist, and the composer, basically. Okay, so we've got that, but this still isn't quite complete, right? Let's say we wanted to play the song a little bit slower. Well, we can click on this little thing that says quarter note equals 120. If we click on that, it brings up this nice menu, and let's say we want to play at 100. We just hit 100 on the keypad or on the keyboard, one way or the other. Boom, it changes your song to 100. All right, so now we've got our song, but we want people to know that this is a C chord. So I'm going to click on this. It doesn't matter which note I'm on as long as it's in that vertical stack. And I'm going to go over here to this chord diagram. So I click on that, and as you can see, it brings this up, and it has the option. We have the display name over here. The display diagram is off. If we want a diagram to be at the top of the page underneath the title, we can click that on. And you don't have to display the fingering, but you could. If you're not happy with that fingering, you can change the finger by right-clicking, or if you're on a Mac, double-clicking on the note and then telling which finger you want to actually play that note. I want to play it with the ring finger, so boom, we've got that. So now you see it put a little C above our chord, and then up here, it put a little chord diagram. If we don't like the chord diagram, once again, we can just turn that option off. So let me click back on here and give you that idea. What if we don't want the diagram? There you go. It takes the diagram away. Now I've got a C there, so we can continue to put that on the other ones. Since that's another C chord, I'm not going to worry about letting people know that because they don't really need to. If it has a check mark and it was barring the chord where both of those were ones and I didn't want it, so I took the check mark off and it gave me the other fingering that's standard for that chord. And then we have a C chord at the end, so I'm going to click on here, do that same thing I did before, right click to do this with the ring finger, and then that's our C chord at the end. And now our tab is done. So now that it's done, we can export it as a PDF if we want to by going to File, Export, PDF, or we can just save it as a guitar profile by just going to Save. So let's save it as short song. Alright guys, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Please subscribe for more, and I will see you on the next one.